says it has to be done that way, and the reason it is because there's federal money involved. You know,
Yes.
I'll give you. Are you in Seattle or not?
I used to be in Seattle, yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Washington State Convention Center?
Yes, I am very
Okay,
familiar.
that's an example of a building that's designed for building code. The part that goes over I-5,
Yes.
the part above the freeway, that's the building code, and then the part that holds it up, that's the bridge code.
Bridge, yeah.
So there's no easy answer,
Yeah.
and the reason Seattle does this is because they have run out of land to build. In there, I think it floods because they're very close to rock, so they're very cautious on where the water goes.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of the lids. That's what they're called, basically, where they build a park on top of the freeway.
Yeah. So, can I say that you are interested in both bridges and vertical structures? Is that an accurate
That is an accurate statement.
statement? Okay, good. And you are interested in both Portland and Seattle. What would the hiring manager say that would interest you? Is what I want to know.
Okay, I want to be sure there's a path going forward, and that's basically part ownership of the firm, basically, or something like that. And to me, that's really important. I just haven't found it in any of the firms I've worked for because a lot of them, there's a lot of politics involved.
Yeah.
And I really dislike politics because in some firms I've worked, they promote people I feel shouldn't. And I'll give you an example. There was a guy they promoted that put a ceiling, wanted to design a retrofit for a building in Seattle. This is a high school. And he cut into the asbestos ceiling. And he got promoted over me. And I felt that's very bad because you don't ever cut into asbestos. That's common sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I want to see, it's a long term. I don't want it to be full time for a year and then I start this thing over again. I want the work to be stable. I want the work to have the technical challenges too. And the other thing I worry about too is, yes, there's budgets, but in the past I've dealt with budgets the best I can. But when you get a project that has everything that can go wrong, you just got to deal with it. And sometimes those projects go over budget. So basically, I've had that happen a few times, but that's because they lowballed the work just to get it. And then they didn't realize what was going on before they priced it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for that stability.
And that would be support from management if something does go wrong.
That's right. And also, I'd like support from younger engineers, too. I think in my case, in my career, it's been a mix of the two. Because a lot of the younger engineers know stuff, and I tend to ask them when I don't know something. A lot of the software wasn't around when I was in college. 3D CAD, which is the Revit, wasn't around. It was being invented in 2002.
Yeah.
So that was that was way past when I was done with my, my degrees, my first 2 degrees.
Yeah. Okay. And Michael, what kind of a rate are you looking for to start at a firm?
Well, I looked at the one for, I like the range for the one in Seattle. I don't know if you're familiar with Washington State. They have to post all the salary ranges for the senior position.
Very familiar with that.
Yeah, California has it, Colorado has it, New York City has it. And the reason they're doing that is because they're having the problems with pay equity. And what they're finding out, here in California, they sue now, for the pay equity. It's bad. They want to avoid the bad publicity of the firm because what happens is that way you don't get people working for you.
Yeah.
Because when they find out you underpay somebody, it makes it real difficult to recruit. And people remember that, and it's easy to look up because, especially when they do things like apply for unemployment, it becomes a public record because they compile that information. I don't know about Washington. I can't say for Washington State, but California it is.
Yeah.
And the other question I have is, What about working from home? That's one I'm really considering. I don't have a problem if I have to fly to Seattle or Portland to the office. That's not a problem for me because it's a straight shot, and I know that I don't know where your office in Seattle or Bellevue is. I don't know where that one is or Portland, but they have mass transit that connects from the airport to downtown in Seattle and in Portland. I've used it.
Yes.
Right. By the way, it's a good system. I love it.
Are you thinking of relocating, or do you want to stay in Northern California?
I'd like to stay in Northern California if possible, but if I have to relocate, I have to relocate. But I don't want to bump into the situation where this is a job for a few months, and then have to break an apartment lease, which costs more money to break an apartment lease, if you get here,
Yeah. Sure.
Because I've had
and
to do.
We certainly have a lot of flexibility around working from home. We work a hybrid, normal staff, but for myself, I telecommute. I never go into office, so there definitely is flexibility around working from home.
Yeah, where are you living these days, if you mind me asking?
I am down in Southern California,
What part?
Redondo Beach.
Oh, cool.
Yes, yes, it's lovely. We used to be in Seattle for many years, and just moved recently. Or no, it's not recent anymore. It's for like 2 years now. But yeah, it's great. We love it here.
My wife's family lives down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that, I don't know if you're familiar with, when you go to in LA County for the gas pumps to be sure they're pumping the right amount of gas. All the stickers you see.
No, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
When you pump gas, you see a sticker saying it's been checked.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, her cousin monitored all those.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So he was on TV. He showed, and he caught some of the gas companies, not pumping the right amount, getting what people were paid for, basically, cutting back. So he would catch them, and then he would shut the pumps down.
Okay.
And sometimes he'll find out if, the sign's posted incorrectly. He tells the owner because a lot of times they don't know.
Yeah.
Which I was really shocked to see.
Michael, to get back to the rate, what kind of a rate are you looking for in your next position? You can give. I'm certainly not negotiating with you right now. I would just like a range that I can present to my hiring team.
I'm thinking in the 150s. I'm open to negotiation because I want to see what the whole package is first with any job. Because I don't know what your health. It's hard for me to say what it is because there could be other things I want that DEA could pay for.
Yeah.
And that to me is
absolutely.
Some of them pay for tuition. Some of them get better health insurance. I don't know what DEA David Evans does, so I have no clue.
Absolutely. And we do have great benefits and. Yes, definitely a conversation to be had later. I just wanted to know where, a little bit of a range so that we can start the conversation. Michael, I think, sorry, now I have a frog in my throat. I think that's all the questions that I have for you right now. I would like to get your resume and information to my team just to let them know that you've applied and that this is what we talked about.